Hello YouTube and welcome back to UK Highland Photography. I'm Strober and today I just want to talk to you guys about a recent assignment it was that I have done. Now let me give you the background to it. So basically I know this bloke, he's a good friend, and he asked me if I would take some photographs of him in the gym when he is doing a workout. He just wants photographs for Facebook, you know, and Instagram and other social media stuff like that. So it wasn't an important assignment. It was just an assignment where he wanted some Facebook images. So I also knew he was an ex-Royal Marine. So I knew he was a Royal Marine Commando. And also what I knew was that I had to bring with me limited kit. For example, he told me don't be getting in the way when you're photographing or doing a workout. And I thought about that and I thought to myself, well, what should I take? And you know, as photographers, we want to take everything, don't we? We want to take radio triggers, light stands, diffuser panels. We want the full Monty. But on this occasion, I thought to myself, no, you're really going to have to travel light. So come the actual day, I met Chris. He picked me up from the train station at Piccadilly. And what I had with me was I had one DSLR with an 18 to 55mm lens. I also bought with me a 35mm lens. This is an f1.8 lens. So I really wanted to try and blur the background in some shots. And then I bought with me, lighting wise, I bought one SB900 in addition to a Yongnuo power pack. And on the way to the shoot, I found out that Chris also loves to play the saxophone. Now, when I heard out that he likes to play the saxophone, then I thought to myself, hey, that could be a great photo shoot for in the future. But moving on, so we actually got to the gym where he's going to work out, and let's just have a look at some photographs. So, as I said, I knew already that Chris was in the Royal Marines. I knew he was a Royal Marine Commando, but what I did not know was about this photograph. Have a look at this photograph. Have a look at the tattoo that Chris has got on his arm. That is a serious symbolic symbol of the Royal Marine Commandos. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to play with this photograph. So when I got home, I basically edited this photograph to look like this. There we go. So what I done was I desaturated the image, and I also colored in the tattoo to make it more authentic looking of being the Royal Marine symbol. And I think it worked actually quite well with that. Just to let you guys know, that shot was also taken with this lens, the f1.8, which is why I've got a nice little blur going on there in the background. So as we move on to the next photograph, we can see now that Chris is just warming up. I mean, anybody really can take these kind of photographs. I know there's nothing special about it. And one of the things was I wasn't in control of what my subject was doing. I could only just take candid shots of him, to be honest with you. So there we go. He's now starting his skipping, and we move on, and he's gone now into doing some like what they call sit-ups. And if we go to the next shot, we can see he's now using one of these stretching machines. To be honest with you, I like to stretch my legs myself, and I wouldn't mind having a go at one of them machines because they look absolutely great. They're helping you stretch your legs, but I also reckon they'd be pretty expensive. So as we can see, there's Chris doing his workout. So moving on, this is one of the parts where things became difficult for me. So Chris, he's picked up his instructor and he started to run. Now what happens here is that the autofocus on my D5100, it isn't that fast. So I could not really lock on to these guys as they're moving back and forth. And yeah, things were just happening far too quick for me with regard to what was going on here. And I didn't dwell on it, I just basically moved on and kept on taking shots. So when we come to this photograph, it was frustrating because again, I've got problems. At this stage of the assignment, I've got two problems. The problem's that everything's so fast, by the chance I'm trying to lock on with autofocus, Chris is ready to change to a different stance. Not only that, but his instructor is now coming in the way and blocking me from getting the free show on Chris. So my camera can no longer see Chris because the instructor is basically blocking my view. So that was pretty frustrating. But again, there's nothing really you can do about it. I mean, I believe you've got to enjoy your photography. If you're going to just get frustrated and wrapped up with anger with regards to not being able to get certain shots, then I think that's the wrong way to be. I think you should just relax, ease off the brakes, say, oh well, better luck next time. And that way you tend to enjoy your photography more. So what I really wanted to do with this shot was I really wanted to get the moment that Chris was impacting. You know what I'm saying? Really wanted to capture that, but I didn't quite get the shot I wanted in that context. So if I move on, I took this shot and I have to say, I really do like this shot. It's basically shot with an f1.8 lens. I was actually on f1.8 when I took this photograph, and I think it's turned out really well, considering that I had limited light, which was basically just this flash on top of the DSLR. And I was going to take a TTL code so I could take the flash off camera, but then I thought, no, it's just I've got enough problems with, I don't know what's going on, I don't know who's going to be there, and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying, guys. So I just stayed with the very basics. So staying with that shot, I actually converted that shot into another black and white shot, and I desaturated it, as you can see. And again, I've added more military green to that tattoo that Chris proudly does show off. So later on in the assignment, I started to get a little bit artistic. I started taking shots like this. So as you can see now, this is a deflated punch bag with Chris blur in the background. Again, taken with this lens, f1.8. Moving on, here's a shot of Chris on, I'm not too sure what the machine is, but he's with his instructor. And this is actually a reflection in the mirror. So that was me again trying to be artistic. Moving on, here's some boxing gloves. Move on. Another artistic shot, it seems to be a speedball. And yeah, Chris is a blur in the background. Again, f1.8 lens. So if we just move on. So now we've got Chris doing his fly kicks. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. And what I really wanted to do in this shot was I really wanted to get rid of as much ambient light in the background as possible and really just have Chris illuminated by the flash. And the location where I was, basically I was too far away. I was too far away from Chris because my flash was basically illuminating all parts of the room.
thanks to the inverse square law. So what I decided to do was to use the inverse square law itself with the flash. So that meant I got closer to Chris in the next photograph. And as you can see, there's not really much ambient light now in the background. And this is because I've got that close to Chris that the flash cannot grow any bigger due to the inverse square law. So the flash is very powerful at the beginning when it starts to grow. And basically, if you don't know about the inverse square law, please have a look on this channel, look for the video inverse square law, and you will find out what I'm talking about. But basically, by using the inverse square law to my advantage, I was able to minimize the ambient light in the background whilst helping to illuminate Chris doing his fly kicks at the punch bag. And considering, again guys, considering I'm using only one flash on top of a DSLR like this, then I think that's actually turned out quite well. Now, to finish this video off with, I'm gonna talk about my conclusion and what I've learned from this assignment. Now, what I've learned from this assignment is that I could have future shoots with Chris. I've already spoken to Chris about one shoot, which hopefully we're going to be doing next week. But that is the first shoot we could do is a saxophone, because again I found out Chris likes to play the saxophone, and we could make some very good photographs of him as a musician. And the next shot is he could be a great soldier in photographs. I mean, with that tattoo Chris has got, that would help you to make fantastic photographs. I mean, let me give you an example. Have a look at this photograph, okay? That is a self-portrait of myself holding a pistol, okay? You see that? That's me holding an air pistol. That could be Chris. That photograph could be Chris with that massive tattoo. You know what I mean? Guys, come on, you know that would make a fantastic image. Not only that, but it may not have to be an air pistol. Instead, Chris could be using a commando knife, or a Fairburn is the actual knife what Royal Marine Commandos have. So again, with that massive tattoo and then broad biceps, Chris holding a knife would be absolutely a superb, thought-provoking image. You know, you could possibly get camouflage cream on, get him into the Royal Marine uniform, which nowadays is the multi-terrain pattern. So another thing we could use on the army context is the simple fact that we could also use an SA-80 assault rifle. Now, if you don't know what an SA-80 assault rifle is, it stands for the small arms of the 80s. And basically, it's an assault rifle that's used by every infantry regiment within the British Army. So here's a selfie I've taken with an airsoft SA-80 assault rifle. Have a look. You see that, guys? Now, again, that could be Chris holding that. The problem is with myself is that I'm such a slim kind of person. So my muscles ain't that big, but because Chris has got big, massive muscles and he's got that tattoo, then that's going to show that he's got full control over that SA-80 assault rifle. So all rifles have like a kickback, but because Chris is so broad, you could clearly see in the photograph that he would be in control of that rifle as it did shoot its 5.56mm rounds. So
Again, I'm going to finish this video off. I'm going to be working with Chris hopefully next week, and I'm going to be making these kind of photographs. So if I do, I'll make another video like this to tell you guys how we got on. But guys, what can I say? Thank you for watching yet again another video of mine. And remember to subscribe to the channel. And when you get the time, like always, check out the online shop over at www.ukhighland.com.